Hello everyone, this is Tom Nook. It's 10:33 a.m. this happy Tuesday, June 11th, 2024. Now for today's news. Moreau gained a new neighbor today, Cranston. I hope you give him lots of great advice about living here. That's all from me. I do hope you enjoy another fine day of luxurious Moreau living. What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Animal Crossing New Horizons. In the last episode, we continued to, kind of just handle the basics. We're just sort of growing our island, making everything a little bit bigger, a little bit better. We learned about customization, which we are going to actually use more than anything to maintain the life, or prolong the life, I suppose, of our tools. I also got I'm actually getting called right now, and the main reason for this is because I did some off-screen work where I actually sold quite a few things in the drop-off box, even though I said I don't tend to like to do that. Oh, actually, that's not what I'm being called about. I thought it was going to be something else. Oh, hey, it's Harvey. I'm calling on the phone part of your phone. So, hey, I know this is out of the blue and everything, but I might need kind of a favor. Got some real sweet folks here who want some special photos made. I could use an extra paw if that's okay. Wait, you have hands, don't you? You can bring those too. Think you can ramble your way to Phototopia and help a shutter dog out? I'll fill you in when we get there. To get to Phototopia, go to the airport and let them know you want to go to Harv's Island. Okay, I'll see you soon. Well, we will definitely work on that in due time, but that is not what I thought. Yep, there's the call I was expecting. Tommy from Nook's Cranny. I've reached Levi right. We've sent a payment to your big. Okay, 20,000 bells. Was able to sell a few things in the middle of the night, so got a little bit of extra money out of that. Let's also check our mail really quickly, if I can actually open this up. Got a few things from Nook's Shopping that I am going to put away. I wanted to grab a couple of those things. We also got our art from Jolly Reds, so we could place that in our pocket and add that to the list. So really quickly, let's open that up. And we got our solemn painting. We're going to be taking that to the museum in due time. We also got, like I said, these handmade things, which are part of the, I believe it's the Children's Day or something along those lines. Got my leaf print wetsuit, which I actually like more than the Nook ink wetsuit. So I'm probably going to end up putting that one away in my storage. And then rubber toe sneakers, which I'm actually just going to put on right now. Okay, cool. So, brand new day, a lot of things to take care of today, and we obviously have a new neighbor that we need to meet. We're going to investigate Nook's Cranny. We do need to go to Harv's Island at some point today, which I do plan to do. But a lot of things to take care of, and it's going to take some time to do so. We also want to make sure that we check our turnip prices, so let's do that really quickly. It is the morning. Oh, also, definitely want to grab my daily allotment of 30,000 bells, 10 of which I'm going to probably turn right around and actually bury. We're pretty darn close, actually, to being able to pay off our loan. So there is that. In fact, I think we should have it tomorrow so we can expand our house further. But let's go in here and, ooh, there's actually some good stuff on offer today that I really, really like. Okay, what do you got for turnip prices for me? Current price is 83 bells, so it is still currently decreasing, which means there is absolutely no way that the afternoon price today is going to be the spike. So we will just continue to sit on that. Let's see. Oh, man, you got all sorts of things. I've always loved... So... I have a really bad addiction when it comes to using things like this for building up my town, just because I love the look of it. And I love the aesthetic of a lot of the sets that are themed around this with the steamer baskets and whatnot and the clay ovens. So I'm going to try to avoid that for the time being, but I'll probably end up buying them at some point. Now, we're just going to check in here really quickly. There's a duster. Okay, that's kind of cute. Just a little handheld thing you can use every once in a while. It doesn't really actually do anything. It's just sort of an aesthetic thing. Like, hey, you'll see villagers walking around in their houses dusting things, and you might be feeling left out. You can have that in your hand, and you can just use it, and it just does a thing. We do also have a new DIY set, the Wildest Dreams DIY. So let's make sure that we buy this right off the bat, and he's going to send this to our phone. We're going to get a whole bunch of new DIY recipes for that. So let's see what we get out of this. We'll check those recipes in a moment. Lots to do today. I know, I'm trying to just take care of everything one by one. All right, let's take a look at our wallpapers now. I'm just going through, making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, yeah, brown botanical tile wall, brown crown wall, brown diner wall, and beige art deco wall. I didn't actually end up buying any of these yesterday. I think I'm actually going to buy this Argyle tile flooring just because it is a little bit nicer and a little bit more contemporary, but it doesn't really fit these walls too much. Maybe the art deco wall. So I think I'll actually get that as well, as we spend a little bit of the money that we just picked up off of the money tree. But with all of that in mind, let's head outside. And it looks like I've also completed another Nook Miles Plus achievement, which is good. We're going to head into Resident Services next. and see what's going on in there. Also, what is the hot item today? It is a wooden wardrobe. Okay, very simple one. I did get some more wood between episodes, just chopping trees and whatnot, but it doesn't do a whole lot for me. Now, notice this achievement right here, plant produce. Hold on a second. Produce. What are you talking about produce? We just barely got introduced to flowers. How are we going to plant produce? Well, of course, you probably saw him in the intro. Let's talk to this character here. Hey, and welcome. What should I call you, friend? Call me Levi. Did you say Levi? What a happy name. Oh, yes, and I'm Leaf. I heard that my good pal Timmy moved out here, so I thought I'd pay him a visit. Timmy told me that this was a deserted island before you moved here. What a happy adventure. I bet you were up to your ear holes in weeds when you first arrived, but the island itself is a blank canvas that you can paint however you like with whatever plants you like. I hope some of the rare flower seeds, shrubs, and produce starts I brought will be featured in your masterpiece. Anyway, meeting you has been a true pleasure. I hope to see you again soon, Levi. This is Leaf, and Leaf is the seller of flowers and, like he said, produce and bushes and shrubberies and all manner of things. And we are going to actually do some flower shopping. So let's talk. And yes, Leaf also does offer weeding services if you ever want to actually have him take care of that for you. That's going to be also nice. So he only has one bit of produce for now, which is wheat. I'm actually going to get, okay, a few days after you plant some produce starts, you'll have produce ready to be picked. They'll grow even if you leave them be after planting, but daily watering will get you more at harvest time. I sell wheat starts individually or in bulk. Let's get a few of these. So I'm actually going to buy, I think I'm going to buy 10 sets of these right off the bat. I'm also really interested in what sort of flowers he'll have, so we're going to make sure we grab a bunch of those. You can actually go through Leaf's full inventory pretty darn quickly. He doesn't sell a whole lot of stuff, but they are essentials that you're definitely going to want to have. Now, when it comes to the stuff that I don't generally touch, it has to be all of these starts right here, all of the bushes and whatnot, and the shrubs. Like, don't get me wrong, they're nice and they're aesthetically beautiful and whatnot, but they don't really give you anything, if that makes sense. Like, there's just kind of something to add on for aesthetic purposes. Produce actually has a lot of value to it. If you work on it, you can actually start a farm, and you can use that to sell your produce and make a whole lot of bells out of it. You can also use it for recipes and things of that nature. Flowers are obviously their own separate beast, and it looks like we got pansies and windflowers, which actually, these are some of my favorite flowers in the entire game. So I think I'm just going to buy bulk amounts of every single one of these. Now, windflower is a little bit different in that they have orange as one of their base colors as opposed to yellow. But I need to get all of these because at some point I need to go over the many different combinations we can make with flowers. I'm pretty much going to dedicate an episode to flowers in the future, but it's going to take some time before we get to that point, and I would like to get a whole lot more seeds before I'm ready to actually do that. I'm sort of just planting them now for utility purposes around my house just so that we can get bugs to land on them and whatnot, but eventually we'll get around to talking about crossbreeding. And that's a whole other beast that's going to require, like I said, a lot of flowers to get to that point. And a lot of time, too. We'll pretty much just do a crash course on crossbreeding, and then we'll have to continue to work on that as the island grows ever bigger. But what I need first is space to actually put my garden on. And right now, a lot of this island is incredibly unusable at the moment. So I'm just going to grab 5 of each, and I've pretty much spent all of what I got out of those, out of that money tree already, which, you know, probably a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll get pretty close to that loan here soon, and remember, there is still some money sitting in my ABD at the moment that I just got wired to me from Timmy. I can also obviously get more money today for various things, but yeah, we're not paying off the loan today. We'll get close, but not yet. In due time, though, don't you worry. So, look at that frickin', gosh dang, balloon right in my face. Let's just knock that down really quickly. And there we go. What do we got out of this, actually? I'm a little curious. I bought so many things. Underwater flooring. All right, well, I'll learn that really quickly. Now, this is a seasonal item. Right here, those summer shells that we've been collecting along the beach are used for making these sorts of things. You can only get them in summer. Let's go into our DIY recipes really quickly. So, real quick, there's the underwater flooring that you can see right there, summer shell and coral. Here's what we got out of the Wildest Dreams DIY. We got a plain sink. We got a wooden fish, which actually I didn't know that came out of it. I thought that was a separate item. We got a brick oven, an iron wall lamp, an ironwood kitchenette, which I've always been a big fan of the ironwood set. I just like the way it looks. It's very nice, very clean. And then we also got a hearth. Things that actually play pretty well into the item that is actually currently being sold at Nook's Cranny at the moment, so something to keep in mind. All right, let's head on into resident services now that we've gone over Leaf. And by the way, don't worry about missing out on Leaf too often because he will be available in another location every single day, as a matter of fact. We'll talk to you in a second, Tom. First things first, I need to get my daily allotment, and we are now at the maximum amount we can get every single day, which is 300 bonus miles. If you can keep the streak going every single day past 7 days, you get a free 300 miles from this thing every single day. So let's go into Nook Shopping first. Just going to check this really quickly. Surfboard is actually interesting. We got different kinds of tees here. There's that leaf print wetsuit again. And once more, I'm going to worry about all of these things a little bit later. Soon enough, again, we are getting money, so we're getting close. In fact, let me actually head on into my ABD really quickly and just withdraw everything that's in here. Just to kind of add it to my pockets and kind of replenish what I just spent already. That was almost exactly to a T what I spent over at Leaf and at Nook's Cranny. Let's talk, Tom. Levi, hello. What would you like to talk to me about? I'm all ears. Well, I'm actually curious. Do you have any input for me whatsoever? Yes, that is the question. I can't think of any more advice to give you, Levi. You've accomplished so much. I am sure you can find your own ways of having fun and living your best life. So it doesn't look like we're going to be doing anything for Tom today. Completely out of ideas. I suppose that makes sense. I guess we'll just have to worry about working on that loan, going and visiting Harv's Island today. But we also have a villager that we need to go meet. So why don't we head on over here and say hello to Cranston. I do also want to check in with Marina, see how she's doing now that she's probably all moved in. Let's go say hi. I'm sure he's unpacking, so we're going to want to be gentle and not waste too much of his time here. But let's say hello. Yeah. Oh, my gosh, I forgot. He's a cool-looking character, too. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Cranston. I just moved here today, all on my own. I can't play yet because I got to unpack my snacks and my other stuff, like furniture and stuff. But come say hi tomorrow. All right, I actually think that Cranston's a turkey, if I'm not mistaken. For some reason, I thought he was a peacock, but now looking at him, he's got to be a turkey. What a really cool character, though. All right, this is the opportunity, however, for me to talk about villager personality types and the many different types of villagers that there are throughout the game. So, there are 4 personality types per gender. And yes, this game does just have 2 genders. There are no gender fluid or non-binary characters in this entire game. There are just male and there are female. But there are 4 personality types for each gender. Male gets the lazy, jock, cranky, and smug personality types, while female get normal, peppy, snooty, and the uchiie or big sister personality types. Now, we have a few of these covered already. I do believe that Marina falls under the normal personality type for female, and Agnes falls under big sister and or uchiie. Cranston is our lazy type, excuse me. You always know whenever they talk about food a lot, that's what the category that they fall under. And Rory is our jock type, so we're still missing a cranky, smug, snooty, and peppy type. These are all kind of adjacent to each other. I mean, peppy and lazy are kind of the 2 that are polar opposites to one, or I guess adjacent to each other or parallel to each other for male and female. Normal is usually pretty parallel with, I think that one, it's smug. And then Snooty is parallel with Cranky, and then Jock is parallel with Big Sister. They kind of just have a lot of similar personality types to them, whereas in you just get a lot of goofing off and a lot of silliness and a lot of ridiculousness with the lazy and the peppy types. You get a lot of, I wouldn't quite say meanness, and certainly not in this game, and they really tone down the level of just sass that you get out of the snooty and the cranky types in this game. But in previous games, they were a lot more nasty, a lot more mean with their dialogue. The jock types, the jock types are just the jock types. They just cannot stop talking about working out and being athletic and whatnot, while the big sister types are just a bit more, I don't want to say the same. It's not. I guess that's not more of a direct parallel. It's just kind of like they're just sort of all over the place, and I would say almost more than anything just down to earth, if that makes sense. While the smug types are generally just kind of like, whatever about absolutely everything, and the normal types are just very good-natured, sweet, not much more than that. So when it comes to what's interesting and what's not, that always depends up to you. Depends on you. There are plenty of different villagers of every single personality type that you can choose from. In fact, let me check really quickly because let me remind myself of who we're getting here. I think Apple is a peppy type, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that that's the Yes. Okay. Yeah. I just confirmed it for myself. That is a peppy villager type. So we'll get a nice range of personalities across our island while still missing 3 types. But speaking of the devil, let's talk to Marina here really quickly. Blurp. Fish aren't biting. Oh, that's it. I guess they don't have much to say while they're fishing, so that's okay. So I'll just leave her be for the time being. But yeah, we have now 4 different villagers. We'll soon have 5, and that means with 8 personality types and a max amount of 10 villagers, we actually are going to double up on a couple of those, but I would like to have a nice variety of every single type just so that we can... Wow, I'm already getting duplicate DOI recipes. That's awesome. Just so that we can have a nice range. We can, see a lot of different things from each of the personality types and overall just get some fresh faces and not a whole lot of repeat dialogue, because that is probably the biggest issue with the personality types is that you get one, you kind of have them all the same. Like, every single smug villager is going to have a lot of the same sayings, a lot of the same dialogue, and you kind of have to get used to that. There is quite a bit of overlap there. That being said, it's not too bad. Like, they don't have such a low amount of rotational dialogue that you're constantly going to hear them all say the same thing. That's not necessarily true. You're not really getting a different experience outside of visuals from 2 different smug personalities, and that's something to consider. So, like the ever famous Marshall and Raymond, who were some of the most requested villagers in all of Animal Crossing New Horizons history, they had the exact same personality type as each other. So they said a lot of the same things. It's just that one was a cat with a Markiplier hair swoop and heterochromia, and the other was just a very smug-looking, white-colored squirrel or something like that, and that's really the only difference between the two. So it seems nice. I want aesthetics. I want animals of the exact same type. But the main thing you're looking for is personalities, because, again, that overlap is inescapable. Now, personally, I am much more partial to peppy and normal types. They are my absolute favorite villagers. So those are probably going to be the 2 that I end up getting 2 of. I may go for a second lazy type as opposed to one of those, just so that we have a nice distribution of male and female across the island. There's going to come a point in this game where we're actually going to have a bit more freedom on who moves into our island. And I also will say that it is not a guarantee that every single villager we have at the moment is going to stay here for the entirety of this playthrough. So that is another thing to keep in mind. There are a couple that may not last until all is said and done as we go throughout the entire year and beyond with this Let's Play, because it is going to be a long one. But I'm kind of excited about it because there's just so much to go over in this game. And at some point, as the tutorials start to wind down and things get to chilling out a little bit more, there's obviously going to be a lot more just cozy episodes, just gentle. Hey, you know what? I kind of just feel like turning on Animal Crossing and having a good time. And do I hear a balloon? I do. Just kind of having a good time and walking around, catching fish, doing daily tasks, and just generally enjoying what this game has to offer. So I don't want to be like, look, we're just going to do the absolute bare minimum and then call this a Let's Play. No, we got a whole lot to look forward to as time goes on. So I'm going to put that away. I'm going to open this up really quickly. A summer shell rug. There we go. So there's another DIY recipe that also requires summer shells. All right, let's head on into the museum. I wanted to collect a few fossils before I did that, just because I didn't want the painting to be the only thing that I turned in. So we'll take care of that really quickly. What's up, Blathers? Oh dear, pardon me. Good morning, Levi. Welcome to the Mirror Museum. How may I be of service? Why don't you just assess some fossils for me, and then we will turn this painting in, and we can actually get started on our art exhibit, and then we can actually go and look around that exhibit so you can see how the layout works. Okay, it looks like we also do have a duplicate fossil in here, so I'll be able to turn around and sell that as well. But I do also need to drop a lot of the stuff in my pockets off in my storage and also lay some of that stuff out on our floor and on the wall in my house really quickly as well. Okay, so it looks like we got the right Terra Wing as a duplicate. I'm going to turn 2 of those in and the solemn painting. And there we go. All right, Blathers, all yours. So let's go and take a look at this art exhibit really quickly, and we can actually see our solemn painting now hanging in there. I was going to wait until we got a whole lot more, but that's just going to take so long that I don't really need to just wait forever. But again, keep in mind that this is just one singular room. So you can see here they have a pretty defined space for the statues that we've already run into. These are, I believe, usually like prints and scroll art and things of that nature, with obviously paintings hanging on the walls themselves. The further back you go, the bigger the paintings get. So you got like small paintings up in the front, medium paintings here, and then the really large ones are going to be in the back here, like our solemn painting here. Solemn painting donated by Levi. Let's see. Las Medinas, Diego Velázquez, circa 1656, oil on canvas. This famous piece by Velázquez, who served the Spanish court, shows us something about perspective. It depicts a young princess with her ladies in waiting. The artist himself is seen to the left. The king and queen are reflected in the mirror to the artist's right, so the perspective is that of the king. The king watching the artist paint the king and the queen. I love the little insight that you get out of those. And actually, that is one of the other big improvements that the museum gets in this game, because before... not only were the exhibits incredibly toned down, but basically you would just get very simple information out of everything that you looked at. You would look at a plaque, it would say, this is this thing, and it would tell you who donated it, and that's it. I like how in here that you actually get some additional information. I believe you also get quite a bit in the fossil exhibit as well. I think the fish and the bug exhibits are still a bit more barren, but just because they hold so many things, it's a little less, there's just a little bit less for them to say, or a little bit less room for them to talk about things. So there is some more Nook Miles. We are just kind of stocking up, and actually, we're getting to a point where I'm almost ready. I don't want to spend too many Nook Miles because I'm saving them for something that we're going to be getting relatively soon. But at some point, and I did not mean to do that, let me put this away. I need to use a few of them on maybe some more Nook Miles tickets, so that perhaps, I don't know, maybe we can go to more Nook Miles Islands and whatnot. That would be kind of nice. Okay, so really quickly, let me put down my new tile as well as my new wallpaper. That clashes a little bit more than I would have liked, but it is different, I suppose. So I'm going to put these away in storage, and then let's also put our crops away, as well as all of our flowers. We will work on all of that stuff in due time. Excuse me. I'll just put all this in the storage. Clumps of weeds. And all right, that should about do it. Okay, one more thing I want to do before we head off to Harv's Island today is I want to go over something that I actually should have gone over a couple of episodes ago, but never got around to doing. And that is fencing. Now, fencing is actually something worth talking about because it is not only something very useful, but it is actually sort of an introduction to something that we're going to be getting later. Fencing is very simple, okay? We have 50 of these things, which means that we have 50 squares that we can put fences down on. All you do is face it, press A, okay? Like this. And eventually, you can connect them if you can actually, there we go, put those down like so. I'm probably going to have to move this tree as well, but what you can basically do is put down fences, connect them in certain ways to surround a property and whatnot. You can even do this in a horizontal or vertical manner. Like for instance, I can do this. However, if I want to create a corner here, I can just throw a fence out there and boom, it should all be connected. You can also make crossing spots that cross through one another. So a good example, if I can do it, am I allowed to do it there? I am not allowed to do it there. Okay, let me demonstrate it on this side. If I absolutely want to, for whatever reason, I can also get the fence to sort of cross through like so, and I'll see if I can show this in a second. But let's put like one right there, and then let's put another one right there. And notice how you can actually section off property a little bit better this way. Fences come in a lot of handy, and there are actually several really nice designs that are going to be available to us. In fact, Tom already said that these are available if we want to spend Nook Miles on them. And they're not too expensive, actually, to get a whole bunch of them. And would highly recommend playing around with them. I'm going to wait until property lines are a bit more defined before I mess around with fences too much. But it's a nice practice because, again, you're going to be using a very similar mechanic later on in the game that is going to require a lot of attention to detail. And when we would get around to using that, there's going to be a whole lot of uprooting and changing this island. And the fences are just kind of a good tutorial to get used to that fact. So something worth mentioning. Okay, I think we've dawdled enough to start off this episode. I do have to plant more pear trees. That's something I need to get on at some point. I also there's probably other things I need to do too. This money tree is almost ready. Our coconut trees, I think, are still a couple of days away from being done. And as soon as those are ready, I got to make more coconut trees. A lot of stuff left to do, but most of it just requires waiting. Let's head on into the airport, and we're going to head off to Harv's Island and see what Harv wants from us, among other things. Let's go. Hey, welcome to your one and only gateway to the skies, the Moreau Airport. How can I help you out today? I want to fly. All right, and we are not going to be using Nook Miles. We're going to visit Harv's Island. Huh, Harv's Island? Where could... Oh, I know. You're talking about that island Harvey lives on. Roger that, good buddy. I can set you up right now, but are you ready? I sure am. So let's get out of here. Okay, have a good flight, friend, and when you need to travel, just think, what would dodos do? And this is how we're going to pretty much be spending the remainder of this episode. There's not really much left to go over back on my island, so let's handle this, and I'll do some off-screen stuff here soon enough. Touchdown like doing magic tricks in a jewelry box. We are parked and proud. Give a quack to Wingback. All right. Rice pudding static. Looks like we got a whole lot of radio chatter going on over yonder. Let's go investigate, maybe? Hello. Hey, I hear you. We're still groovy, and the anniversary shoot's going to happen. I'm just, like, behind a little. Well, okay, but what'll we do about the lovely sets? Prepping them ourselves could get a bit ticklish. Hey there, thanks for coming. So, I need to borrow you for a minute. Okay, so this here is Reese, and her main squeeze, Cyrus. They're married and in love. Whole bunch. Far out, right? Anyway, they want to get some anniversary photos made. Fancy ones, with sets and stuff. And because it's June now, and June is wedding season, here they are. June is a whole season now. Whoa. Thing is, I'm cool with lending out my studio, but my wedding sets are running slightly behind schedule. I'm ordered decorations and painted the walls and floor, but then a neat bird flew by, and there went May. Long story long, someone's still got to move stuff around so it looks wedding-y, then snap some photos. So think I could ask you to be that someone? You'd really be helping the shutter dog out. Sounds fun to me. Really? Wow, you are a solid on down. Come on, let's go. All right, let's get to work then. So if you remember correctly from the Nook Shopping Center, in the special section, there were items available because of the fact that it's wedding season. This is the associated event with that. Every single June, you'll have the option to put together wedding photos for Reese and Cyrus here. This is my wedding picture studio. It's actually my kitchen with some set walls I put up. Let me know if you get hungry. Since this is your first time in one of my studios, let me give you the rundown real quick. You can press down on the D-pad to change the decor in the studio just like you do at home. Oh, and speaking of set decorations, I've got a special deal going with Nook Shopping. So if it's in your catalog, you can just borrow one on the spot to use in your set. Sweet like granola, right? One thing, if you got to take 5 partway through, no problem. But talk to me before you go back in, okay? Otherwise, Reese is in charge. So if you want to know what to do, she's your alpaca. Cool? Cool. I owe ya. Okay, well, let's see what we got here as far as our options are concerned. Hello there, it's so nice to meet you. I'm Reese, and I'm just pleased as punch that you're helping us out. And this is my hubby, my darling. So, you're already married, but then you're doing the... I mean, I guess if they're doing this every year, I don't know, maybe they just really like reenacting it. The name's Cyrus, good to meet you. I just know these photos are going to be so romantic, and just in time for our anniversary. Even though we do this every year, it's always so very special. It's just like a slice of life from that year. A delicious slice, almost as sweet as our love, right, hun? That's right, sweeter than the sweetest raisin bread. Oh, you, such a romantic. Raisin bread? Whatever. Oh, sorry, I forgot what we were doing for a second there. We just get so lost in our own little world sometimes. Anywho, so here's what we were thinking for this year's photo sets. A recreation of our entire wedding day. And you can help us by making this place feel like we're saying I do all over again. It'll be just like decorating your own place. Easy peasy. Oh, I almost forgot. My amazing Psy guy even built some custom wedding furniture for the shoot. Isn't that so sweet of my schmoopy? He really put his heart into him, so I hope you can make them work. Just open up the event tab to take a look and grab what you want for the shoot, okay? Today I'm thinking we should take a ceremony photo in a place that looks like a wedding chapel. It'll be just like our real ceremony, professing our love for each other in front of everyone. So romantic. What we're looking for is a cute set with plenty of pink and white, preferably using lots of the furniture my Psy guy made. Just let us know when you're ready for us to start posing. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Okay, let's take a look here then. So, we're going to have all sorts of options, I'm sure. Okay, so we got wedding benches, wedding decorations. The walls are already up. The flooring is already up. That's fine. The rugs are already in place. Cool, cool, cool. So why don't we start with our wedding benches here? And I am going to just kind of be moving these all over the place. We want to have them... We don't have them too far apart. We're going to try to probably put them right next to the carpet. I guess I'm going to probably have to put a lot of these down, though, huh? I'm going to want like 6 in total. Let's see. That should be enough. Okay, cool. And then let's try to put these adjacent. I'm in my own way, aren't I? Hold on. Let me move out of the way here, and then let me actually fix the placement of these. So real quick. Let's switch back to this. Okay, and we're just going to make everything as symmetrical as possible. Again, not moving too much. Oh, maybe that was a little too excessive. Maybe I should go a little closer on everything. I mean, I need to have enough space for everybody to sit. That's for darn sure. That needs to go about there. There we go. That'll do. Is that too far apart? Wondering if that's too far apart. What happens if I go right there? Is there space enough to walk between these, or is that too close? There is, but it's very... I mean, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, if you can still get between that and sit down. That's not really too much of an issue. So let's go right there and then down one. That was a little too far. There we go. I like that a little better. Okay, cool. And then let's just make everything adjacent. Like so. This is just the benches, by the way. We have a lot of work to do with making this look nice. Well, I don't know about a lot of work to do, but we definitely have work to do nonetheless. Okay, so we got a wedding decoration. Let's take a look. We're going to put that... Ooh, yeah, definitely right there, dead center in the back. I have all of my options, but... Well, you know, now that I think about it, it would probably be better if I actually had... Oh, man, I'm missing some items, aren't I? You know, I would really like to get some of the stuff that's available in the... Oh, man, that kind of sucks. You want some butterflies? Do you want some butterflies around your set? No, of course not. I'm a little bummed out, though, because, yeah, I definitely would like to have all those other available options in the event set. And I don't know. I don't know if this is going to fly. Do you guys mind waiting another day for me? And then maybe, just maybe, we can... also, let me see this really quickly. Oh, okay. That was just saying I'm posing. Yeah. You mind waiting another day, and then maybe I can make this a little bit nicer? I think that would probably be for the best, because this is just... well, I don't know. Are you happy with this, Reese? You tell me. It's coming along. Does this mean you're ready for this to start the photo session? I suppose so. Maybe I can try this and make this a little bit better on a future day. Let's tie the knot. This is so exciting. Before we get started, I do have another teensy request. Will you be our photographer? Don't get me wrong, Harvey is great. It's just, this lovely set is your vision. I want you to realize it. When you're ready, press ZL to launch the camera app, and then, yeah, the button to take the picture. Okay, cool. Find yourself in the frame, and you don't want to be pressed down to change what's shown in the frame. All right. Can't wait to see what you've come up with. Let's do this thing. So, let's get ourselves a picture here, and I'm just going to get the frick out of here. Can we do that? There we go. I probably want you two posing, though, don't I? Here, let's do that. There we go. Now I'm out of the frickin' frame. Thank goodness. Okay, is there a way that I can, like, get you two to, like, move? Or actually, what about our frames here? So, pop, soft, definitely don't want film. Definitely don't want monochrome or antique. Sharp isn't too bad. Let's take a look at our borders here. We're going to make this like a dramatic movie. Could go with a frame and date, or just, let's just go with the regular frame one, if possible. Where is that? There you are. Take one photo there. I don't like that they're looking at me, though. I would rather that they look at each other. Let's take it. Let's see. Last one seemed nice. Mind if I take a quick peek? Go ahead. Take more than one. I'll just look at the last one if that's okay. Go ahead. Great. Now let's see. What a lovely photo. It really captures the feel we were looking for, and it's so sweetie. Really? I feel like that's very generous. It felt a bit plain for a wedding set, but that's so easy to fix. Just adding more furniture to the scene would make it. And I would like to add more furniture, but I'm not going to be able to do that right now. But we're going to get a wedding bench out of this. That's okay. And because I'm just full of surprises, I also have some heart crystals for you. They're so cute that I hate to give them away, but my side guy likes them. He'll trade you for furniture, but he'll only do so during the month of June. I think that's pretty cute of him, don't you agree? So one small request we have, please keep it to no more than 8 redemptions per day. My sweetie makes all the furniture by hand. He works fast, but there are only so many hours. Hope it's not too much trouble to ask you to pace yourself. I don't want you burning out my side guy. Okay, I will happily take those then. Once again, thank you so much for everything. You helped make a wonderful new memory. You know, this was so fun. Would you be interested in helping us out again tomorrow? We have the studio space rented out for the entire month. Just think of all the different themes we could try. Well, no pressure, darling, but I do hope you'll consider it. Thanks again. It's a little bit unfortunate that I am also doing this when I barely have any furniture whatsoever. But obviously, again, I do want to go after all that stuff that is in the event shop. And, well, I think that's actually about it. So... it looks like that's everything here. What a tiny little island. What's up, Harv? Heard you got some real groovy shots in there. Good work. I'm still going to need help tomorrow if you're interested. It'd really help me out. Think about it, okay? I think I will do that. I think I'll add that to the docket. So let's take a look at our Nook miles here really quickly. We got that done. But we also got another one down here for a growing collection. Not bad. Puts us up to 12,000. And I'm actually comfortable with grabbing a couple of Nook miles tickets. So... Not a whole lot of time left in this episode, but let's just head back anyway. Squawker's got a transmission report for you. Dodo Airlines is now dabbling in item delivery and liquidation here on Harvey's Island exclusively. Copy. So you can flap all you want, but an overburdened bird will never get off the ground. You gawking what I'm squawking? Sometimes you got to do more than flex your wings. You got to ditch some cargo to fly free. Copy? Copy. So feel free to offload some of your goods with us. We can send them to your home base or buy them outright. Let me just make sure I've got my beak on straight so I can plot out the flight plan for you. First, let's talk delivery. We'll ship your goods safe and sound straight to your home storage. And we won't bombard you with pesky handling fees, so fly high and book as often as you want. As for liquidation, well, let me just confirm that dodos are collectors. Maybe your intel on that was lacking. But it's true, and this service is for those who want to unload some of their extra baggage from extra bells. With Nook's Cranny, our partners on the ground will buy your packages for what you get via their Dropbox. Funds will fly straight to your bank and Nook account tomorrow, so keep that info on your radar. That's all the Dodo info on these new services for now. Dodo Airlines over and out. Well, thanks, Wilbur. I appreciate it. But let's get the heck on out of here. I'm ready to go. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you need those sorts of services on an island like this? I mean, there's not much going on here except for a place to take pictures. In due time, ladies and gentlemen, in due time, this will be a lot more useful to us. But for right now, not going to worry about it too much. But there is a very valid reason for why those services, and I actually think that those services were added in a later update that coincided with some changes that were made to Harv's Island. And also, oh, it's raining now. Okay, it looked like it was on the verge of it before. All right, tell you what, I said that I wasn't going to try to pay off my loan today, but we are so unbelievably close to it that it probably is a good idea to try to get that done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of finish off this episode grabbing what I can, taking care of some residual things, and yeah, I think I'm just going to try to get that done. So we're about 38,000 bells away, so a little bit of time to do so. And like I said, I am going to go grab some Nook Miles tickets. I'll do that soon. That's going to only cost me Nook Miles, obviously, so not a huge deal. Let's grab some of this stuff along the beach, because selling fossils every day is a good thing to do. I could go after fruit, but that's generally not like the nicest thing in the world. I mean, it's not going to give you a ton of money until I can get myself like more pears and the like, because obviously the foreign fruit is what sells for so much more. Same with coconuts and things of that nature. Are coconuts technically fruit? I guess they are technically fruit, aren't they? So yeah, foreign fruit. I still stand by that. Okay, this is something else I want to look out for. So in this weather in particular, although actually, no, never mind. It's not the right time for it. In this particular weather, in the rain, is when you want to actually keep an eye out for those really big shadows that are sea bass 100% of the time. Because in the rain, after a certain time period, those shadows will actually be not sea bass occasionally. And the fish that you can get out of those when it's raining is actually extremely rare and extremely valuable. So something to keep in mind. You can actually chance those and, you know, I don't know, you'll probably still catch like 40 sea bass doing it, but maybe one of them will be the super rare one that you're after. So something to look out for. I also do like to keep an eye on these, on the mouths of the river here, because sometimes these aren't always black bass. But this one is probably a black bass. But hey, it's still worth checking. No, it's a tire. Oh, that's even funnier. Okay, well, that's going to give me a DIY recipe, because I did catch a new piece of junk, so there's that. We can actually take a look at our new Nook Miles achievement, which is trash fishing. There we go. Look, even for getting stuff that you absolutely did not want, you still get stuff, which I think is incredibly nice of them. All right, let's put the shovel to use here really quickly as we work our way around. We do need to find that money rock. That is going to help me out a lot as I go through here. But we're going to try to get this paid off before we call this an episode, and it shouldn't be too hard to do to gather exactly everything that I need. I just need to be a little bit vigilant. I think I might try to go and catch some wasps just as a bit of an extra bonus, but that's obviously something I don't want to necessarily show on screen, because that can take forever, shaking every single tree on the island until you've gotten every single possible wasp spawn. But we're dang close, and I would like to show that before the episode's end. So I will happily grab all of these things as well. I did actually manage, I think I got a second golden nugget yesterday too, when I was saying how rare those are in the first place. I feel like the game was just like, nope, we're going to punish you for saying those are rare by giving you another one a second day in a row, which just almost never happens. I'll usually only get maybe 1 or 2 per week at like the most. So, man, I don't know, maybe I just have really terrible luck with those, and people are like, what are you talking about? I get a gold nugget every single day. You're crazy. I don't know, maybe I am. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I just have, like I said, a really terrible luck. You be the judge. Hello, snail. I'm going to scare you off. Not like that, but I guess I did it in a less violent manner, so I'll take it. So we're narrowing it down. I think we've only got a couple more rock options left. So let's just keep hitting those. And let's be careful. Make sure we don't break our shovel here. I would really rather not do that. I'm getting tons of iron nuggets, though, which is good because that is the one thing that you can never have too much of, in my opinion. Well, really any material that you use for crafting kind of falls under that umbrella, but obviously iron nuggets are just, they're so costly, and they are also really good for a lot of the best hot items that you can sell at Nook's Cranny, so you definitely want to be vigilant about making sure you're always stocked up on these suckers. Wood, too. Wood is just a lot more tedious to collect, obviously, because you have to hit so many trees. Something I like to do on Nook Miles Islands, though, is just hit every single tree I come across out there, just because it does, well, just because it's like, you're not like you're ever going to be back there anyway. Okay, I'm almost positive, and I don't know why I went to the vaulting pool. I'm almost 100% positive this is going to be the money rock, so I'm actually going to try to set this up for myself really quickly. So the easiest way to make sure you get everything you want is to set up, and actually I probably should go the other direction, is to set up 2 holes that are adjacent. Don't do a third because you need the space for the money to drop. But set up 2 holes and then just get to hitting as often as you can. You won't be able to go far back enough to get kicked away from the rock. And that way, let's see, is it going to do it? Oh, nope. See, I messed myself up. Okay, I should have just done 1 hole. I thought it was 2, but I thought it sent the money flying away far enough that it would be okay. But it did not do that, unfortunately. But I had the right idea. Yeah, it's actually really nice to get these rocks next to, like, trees or walls or something of that nature. It just makes it a whole lot simpler. This is actually a good opportunity for me to talk about something else when it comes to the rain, and that is the fact that the rain acts just like a watering can does. It literally waters your plants. So if you ever have flowers that you are not wanting to crossbreed, this is actually a really bad time for this to happen, but if you do want them to crossbreed, this will actually do it for you. The only time where the rain is actually a bad thing for crossbreeding, if you actually want it, is if you have a friend or visit your island or a villager waters your plants for you. For whatever reason, and we'll talk about this more when we get into Ooh, hold on. I got to catch this. I got to catch this. Just a second. Got it. Okay, that is, let's see, is it a rare one? It's actually not. Okay, sometimes you'll get this thing. But I got a sucker fish, which is probably the least rare out of all of the finned shadows. It's still a nice one to have, don't get me wrong. I think it still sells for like 2,000 bells or something like that. But it's not like an ultra rare fish like many of the other ones that have fins. So still worth going after. Still a new fish. That's pretty nice. I can send that to the museum. Anyways, as I was saying, I'll get into this more in the crossbreeding, but crossbreeding odds are like per day are something like 30 to 50% or something like that. But if you have either somebody from another village, like another player, come and water your plants for you, or if it's another villager, which is not something that you can guarantee because they decide when they want to walk up and water your plants. If one of them decides to do that, that can, I believe, jump your chances all the way up to 100%. So something to keep in mind. Oh my gosh, that is the most amazing luck I have ever seen. I just straight up got 30,000 bells, and now I can pay off my loan. What in the crap? That was like a gift from the gods. Are you kidding me? That is so cool. Holy crap. Oh, man, I am taking that. I'm not even going to go back to Nook's Cranny. I'm just going to go and immediately talk to Tom Nook, and then we could call this an episode. That is so freaking sweet. What is that for an ending? That is the most hype thing I've ever had in Animal Crossing. About my home. Why am I talking to you about this? Sorry, I don't know why I'm here. I need to be over at the ABD. I got so flustered and excited that I, for some reason, decided to go talk to Tom Nook about this. All right, let's actually redeem stuff first. I'm going to do this quickly. So let's get a couple of Nook Miles tickets. And here's my cutoff. I do not want to go below 8,000 Nook Miles right now. Because something that we're going to get access to pretty darn soon and is extremely useful costs 8,000 Nook Miles. So I want to stay above that threshold at all times if I can help it. So I'll just get these 2 things. And I'm also going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do some, sell all the shells that I picked up, obviously. I'll buy some things over at Nook's Cranny, and I also want to get my hands on all of the wedding equipment so that we can use that to further spruce up Reese and Cyrus's studio on a future day. Okay, so here's some examples of some more fences real quick. You got the straw fence and the vertical board fence. I actually really like the vertical board fence. It's really useful for certain setups. Straw fence is a little bit harder to make work, mainly because there were a lot of Western sets that were available back in the day in older Animal Crossings that just kind of aren't prevalent anymore, and this would fit really well with those furniture sets, but they just don't exist. It doesn't exist anymore, and I think that's really, really stupid. But yeah, there are some fences that I just don't find a whole lot of value in, but let's pay from pockets. Let's hit full amount, confirm. Don't have a whole lot of money left, but that is okay with me. Yes, I finished paying off my home loan. Let's go talk to Tom. Well, hello there, Levi. I must offer a hearty congratulations. You've paid off your loan in full. I'd expect nothing less, of course, but such a milestone is certainly cause for celebration. Suppose they're also a good time to take stock and reflect. Yes, I'm sure your home is quite comfy in its current configuration, but what if it could be bigger? Oh, I assure you that it can, indeed, be bigger. A bigger home means more space for furniture and more storage, too. And now that I have introduced some possibilities, I will leave it at that. Do please come see me if you'd like to hear more. Well, you've already got me intrigued, so let's talk about it. For your home, I think I'd recommend making the room larger. That would require taking out a loan for 198,000 bells. I am very interested. Let's do it. Wonderful. I'm so happy for you. I'm sure going to make sure construction begins right away. Oh, it occurs to me. This might be a good time to consider a new color for your roof, don't you think so? There are 8 color options. Could you please select a roof color from the list? Oh, I think this time... screw it. Let's go pink. Why not? I like pink. Congratulations on your home should be finished up by tomorrow. I'll bet you're even more excited than I am. Awesome. Okay, so that's a pretty big milestone that we just hit, and I am happy to see it. So, yeah, tomorrow we are going to wake up with an even bigger house, which means that I'm going to have to move some furniture around. But we also got this one right here for 1,000 Nook miles, so that's pretty awesome to get. And that pretty much takes care of everything I wanted to do in this episode, and then some. Wasn't expecting to get that done, but that balloon was just like the most clutch balloon I have ever seen in Animal Crossing history. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for watching. Oh, hold on. Marina, what's up? Hi there, Levi. I've managed to finish putting things away at home, so I'm finally freed up to meet and greet all my neighbors. I'm really grateful that you came by on the first day here to welcome me. Before I forget, the reason I flagged you down is because I wanted to celebrate, give you a gift to celebrate us being neighbors. Just something to mark the start of what I hope is a lifelong friendship. Well, thank you, Marina. That's incredibly sweet of you. Something popular back home, a desk mirror. My original home, I mean. I know this is my home now. Well, that saves me from having to make my own mirror. Take care, Blurp. Oh, man, Marina, you are absolutely the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Animal Crossing New Horizons. I hope you all enjoyed it very much. Just to recap the things that I'm going to be taking care of off screen, I am going to be selling some stuff, getting some money from Nook's Cranny, and then turning around and buying some things because I need to get the rest of that wedding set. I am going to work around town. I'm going to plant new pear trees and the like, work on various other things, probably going to chop more wood, things of that nature, and then hopefully in the next episode, we will be moving on to some bigger and better things, some very important things, and I don't know, maybe we'll see some big advancements. We will at least have a bigger house, so that's going to be kind of awesome. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.